Hello, my name is Shakara Martinez, and I'm going to be doing a PowerPoint presentation today over a virus that I chose to do my research paper on. And the particular virus that I chose was the Epstein-Barr virus. And it was really quite a few interesting things that I learned about the virus. And I'm going to share some of those things that I learned with you today. The virus is actually part of the herpesviridae family. And that family actually consists of 4 different viruses. The most common in the world of the 4 viruses is actually the one that I chose to do my research paper on, which is the EBV virus. It usually remains in a latent condition. And what that particular means is that it remains dormant unless it's activated by something. And usually what that means, activated by, the things that usually activate it is stress is a big factor. Compromised autoimmune system is something else that activates it. But the most common is aging, because we all know as we age, our bodies tend to get weaker, and we usually have a lot more complications. And so being that when we age, the EBV virus tends to become activated and can cause other health conditions. And as you can see, the globe is just another indicator showing you how the virus is worldwide. No matter which continent you're located on, you can't be safe from the virus because it's everywhere. And like I said, the virus is everywhere, and unfortunately, there's no cure. It's incurable. It injects itself into a host, which is me, you, and anyone else who may be infected. The EBV virus is structured by binding the viral envelope. The herpes virus attaches to the host cell receptors, then enters the cell through fusion of its envelope with the cytoplasmic membrane. The virus is known to infect B cells and epithelial cells, which would explain why cancer is linked to the EBV virus. In just a little bit, I'll get into a little bit more detail about what that means. It is spread through fluids. The most common type of fluids is through saliva. So yes, a kiss can be EBV, unfortunately. And it's also spread through other things. The most common infection from the EBV is the infectious mononucleosis. The infectious mononucleosis disease is commonly known as the kissing disease. Due to it being spread mostly by saliva, as I just said, from kissing, EBV can be spread by using objects, such as a toothbrush, so be careful not to share your toothbrush with anyone, or a drinking glass that an infected person recently used. The virus can potentially survive for as long as the object remains moist. So if you're quick to maybe get a glass after someone before washing it out, you may want to think twice about doing that, because it can still be, the virus can still be live, activated, and cause infection through the virus, through sharing glasses and utensils of that sort. And as you can see, here's a mom maybe kissing her baby, and you know, that's why it's wise not to let anyone, you know, just kiss your children. And again, like I was saying, it can cause other illnesses. Infectious mononucleosis disease, the kissing disease. And that's really one of the most common. As like when I was younger, it was known as mono. People would always like joke, hey, don't kiss such and such, you're going to get mono. but it's real. It's the real deal. I have multiple sclerosis up here, but there are really no proven facts as to the multiple sclerosis. But my son was recently diagnosed with that a few years ago, so that really drew my attention as to the EBV could potentially be linked as to causing multiple sclerosis, because there is still no evidence that proves what actually causes it. So that was really interesting to me that that was listed. The Burke's lymphoma is common in black males, and what that is, it's a cancer, and it's mostly common in the continent of Africa. That a study was done and they realized that, and it was common in the black males. Treatments. Well, there are very limited treatments for the actual EBV, but depending on what infection that arises from the virus, there are treatments available. Treatments of EBV cannot be cured once infected, but it can be treated based on what complications arise from the virus. For instance, if a person is diagnosed with Burke's lymphoma, can be treated with chemotherapy or radiation to sustain the disease. The kissing disease, known as mononucleosis, is usually treated with steroids. But there was some studies done showing that steroids are also not effective against mono, but they're still actually used to treat the disease. It's still used as an option. Some may find it beneficial and some may not. Prevention. There is no real prevention that can be 100% effective against preventing yourself from catching EBV. Because again, like I said, it's such a common disease. You're most likely to get it, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be affected in a negative way by the disease. Because it only usually affects you unless you have those elevating factors, again, such as stress, aging, and a compromised immune system. And just try to, limit your stress just in case you do have the EBV virus and it's latent in your body. And just, having a good immune system is another thing to keep it dormant. And again, I really enjoyed learning about the Epstein-Barr virus, and I hope you did as well. Thank you for listening and have a great day.